Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, Jace, how are you doing this morning? Or afternoon or evening, whatever day it is, whatever time it is in the day. I don't know. You could be listening to this at midnight, at 3 a.m. Who knows, dear listener?
That's true. However, for me right now, it is 5 p.m.,
Yes.
And I'm doing all right. I've had a day that's very heavy in decision making, and I'm definitely feeling that mental fatigue from lots of decision making during the day. But I am very excited because this morning, right when I got up, I did all the preparations for an Irish stew in the slow cooker, and so that's been cooking all day. So tonight I get to eat that after we finish recording.
Well, there you go. That sounds lovely. I don't know what consists of an Irish stew or what makes it an Irish stew, but I hope
really you put
it's
potatoes
delightful.
in anything and you call it Irish. I think that's kind of the deal. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's lovely.
Yeah. What about you, Emily? How's your day been?
It's been nice. Got some stuff done, and now I'm here ready to drink with all y'all, and I'm very excited for that. All right. What the heck did you talk about last week in Isaiah, which we started? All that I can remember is just that he was waxing poetic about himself and about all of the great things that he was going to do, and God talked through him. And I spoke to my mom afterwards about it, and she was like, yeah, that was really weird. That was a really weird book. That was a really weird couple chapters. So I am wondering if that's sort of how it's going to be for the next, I don't know, few months or however long it's going to take us to get through this book.
Well, we are entering a series of several books of prophets in a row.
Okay.
And as far as abstractness goes, I feel like the prophets are pretty heavy on that. That's that's the whole being a prophet thing. You got to be a little bit abstract.
You got to be abstract. Yeah.
A beat prophet, really.
Right.
A
totally.
beat poet prophet. Cool.
A beat poet prophet. Yes, exactly. So yeah, we will probably be in for more of that. I didn't feel like Isaiah was talking himself up so much as talking about just how shitty all of Israel has been lately, and how Yahweh is just gonna really, really teach him a good one. I can't find. I'm trying to think of a non-swearing way of saying what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, but we got the sentiment.
We got that super famous verse about beating swords into plowshares.
Right.
Which was famous to the two of you, but I had never heard it in all my life. Oh, yeah, there were ocean liners.
Yes, right.
And skyscrapers.
Yahweh hated the fact that they had ocean liners and skyscrapers, right?
Oh, my goodness. And we also got the slightly less famous verse about being a hut in a field of melons / maybe cucumbers, depending on your translation.
Right.
That was fun. Yeah, that was really fun.
Thus
Enjoyed
starting
that.
Dedeker's life goal of living in a hut amongst a field of melons and or cucumbers.
There you go. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens this week because truly, you never know. You never know with this big old book, the Bible.
Yeah, we also last time, remember, we got through Isaiah that maybe Yahweh is kind of doing a new year, new Yahweh, like no more animal sacrifices.
Oh, right.
Stuff like that.
For Yahweh.
Right. We had a lot of fan theories about last week's. And I think that's the beauty of the prophets, because they're a little more abstract, that they're really ripe for fan theories. And that's really what this podcast has become, I guess.
That's what we're here for. It's just the fan theories, the fan casting, the fan fiction, the fan shipping, everything.
Is that... have people made fan fiction, out of these characters? I feel bad like
Whoa.
saying that they're characters because are they
No,
historical beings?
I've never even
Ish?
considered that. Is there like
Well, I
slash
guess-
fic
Are they a
about
metaphor for
Bible
something? Like, I
characters?
don't know. Yeah.
You mean like modern fan fiction or just
Sure.
somebody is
Yeah, modern
Like-
fan like on
like
can
since
you
the advent of the internet?
yeah. I mean, the internet hasn't been around that long, but I guess
It must exist. It has to.
Okay,
Rule 34
you're probably
has
right.
to exist.
Has to
I'm not going to
exist.
look it up.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not going to go there.
I don't
but
know.
I
That
just
sounds scary, but yeah,
I can rest in knowing that it probably exists.
for sure.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
you're probably right.
I mean, I would say that certain sects of Protestants would argue that pretty much all of the Jewish writing and the Catholic writing is fan fiction.
They would argue
Whoa,
that. It's true.
Wait, Anne
That-
Rice wrote a Jesus book?
Yeah,
That-
she got really into Jesus for
Really?
a while and said that she was never going to write any more vampire books. And then I think a couple of years passed and she was like, I need more money again, and went back to writing vampire books.
Because nobody was interested in the Jesus books.
Well, way back when we were reading the stories of David, I ended up putting on my Amazon book wish list specifically like a David and Jonathan romance novel that somebody
Oh.
wrote.
Oh, I think I looked that
Okay.
up.
I
It
never
looked-
read it though.
Yeah.
So don't play coy that you don't know if this exists, but assume it does. You know very well that
okay.
it
I'm not.
exists.
I'm not
Well,
thinking
that one
like
does.
self-published Amazon ebooks. I'm thinking like straight up putting it on my live journal on the '90s internet kind of fan fiction.
No, I think it all
so
counts.
much.
It all counts as
Oh,
fan
boy.
fiction.
It was
Okay.
called like the Prince's something or other, like the Prince's.
Prince's something or other, eh?
Prince's insert
Yeah.
what you will.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
the Prince's colon. Yeah,
Right.
we can't talk about that kind of stuff on this show, so here we are.
Here we are.
Okay, what are we drinking today? What are you two drinking?
In preparation for this much talked about Irish stew, I'm having a Guinness.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. And I've gone back to one of my Drunk Bible Study classics, which is whiskey with grapefruit flavored sparkling water, which I know sounds weird, but
It really does, but I have
really
both.
hits
I
the
have
spot.
some La Croix, some grapefruit pamplemousse La Croix, and some Woodford Reserve. Would it be weird with that?
No, it'd be great. Try it. Give it a
Yeah,
try.
perfect.
Okay, I'll try it.
Do
Over,
it.
over some ice. It's surprisingly
There you go.
good. I mean, it's chill. It's very mellow, but it's
mellow.
good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I came into contact. Rather, somebody gifted me some vodka, which is like not something that I usually drink ever.
Right. Yeah.
But because of that, because of this gifted vodka, I went on Amazon and bought myself a copper mug kit so that I could make myself some
mule,
Moscow
yeah.
mules. Because I have this like really great ginger beer at home that I have been getting from Whole Foods. It's so good. It's really potent. And so here we are. It's a very like simple recipe,
Beautiful.
like simple cocktail, but yeah, like all
I
it
like
is
the
is
copper
just
straw and everything that you have.
I know.
there.
It came with the copper straw, it came with like a little stir, it came with a little copper shot glass. It was a lot, but it was great. Very cheap on Amazon, and it's totally worth it because the copper really like insulates the cold. So this Moscow Mule is simply vodka, lime juice, ginger beer. That's it. And then I garnished it with a slice of lime and some mint just for like a nice refreshing smell on top of it. Yeah.
It's lovely.
I know. I
Lovely.
like it very much. It's very tasty. So go grab
Excellent.
your copper mugs today.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it. We've spent a lot of time chatting today.
Faffing about, really.
But let me hit you with some cold hard facts here.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And that is
Ready. Get ready, everyone.
that today we're continuing on with Isaiah, reading chapters 4 through 8. That's 5 chapters today. This is the most we've ever done in an episode. So if you want to read along with us, you can
small,
go to
though.
drunkbiblestudy.com/read and type in Isaiah 4-8. As we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
you can drink along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time.
And with that, Isaiah chapter 4. 7 women shall take hold of one man in that day, saying...
Whoa, okay, all
Wait,
right,
what's
hold
happening?
on, hold
What's
on.
happening?
We are just starting out with a bang.
Yep, here we go.
Where do we leave off? He's still in the middle of like
idea. I
rap
have
battle
not a clue.
prophesying, right?
Well, he had just ended talking about women with all their accessories and how terrible that is.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
the scarves and the cape and the
And their jangly
shawls
foot
and the
jewelry.
tiaras and the anklets and
Yeah.
all those.
The
and
way you
nose
used to
ring.
dress Dedeker.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was talking smack about that. So I think we're kind of continuing on that theme here.
Okay.
7 women shall take hold of one man in that day, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own clothing, only let us be called by your name. Take away our reproach.
Call Me By Your Name, like the movie.
Yeah, what is happening here?
I
Is he saying,
already
like-
need to go to the message.
Wait, is he saying, like, call me by your name?
It's
God?
like 7 women. 7 women have grabbed a hold of this one man by every limb he has available. And they're like, we'll get married to you. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to feed ourselves and clothe ourselves and stuff like that. You don't got to worry about that, but we still want your last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then take away our reproach, which I'm not quite sure what that's about.
Well, Stephanie in the chat is pointing out that in the Good News translation, it says they don't have to endure the shame of being unmarried.
Such shame. Wow.
Intense daily shame that I struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. That fits with the let us be called by your name and take away your reproach. Yeah. I totally had forgotten about what's that one? The Good News translation. Yeah, it was kind of like the predecessor to the Message of that, like, slightly paraphrased kind of modern English sort of translation.
But the Message, Eugene Levy actually had some guts.
Yeah.
Eugene Levy. Yeah, he in the midst of Best in Show and Schitt's
Yeah.
Creek, he decided to also do the Message Bible.
Right. So Eugene says that they say, we'll take care of ourselves, get our own food and clothes, just give us a child, make us pregnant, so we'll have something to live for.
Wow.
Jeez, okay, that's all other layers.
No wonder there's so much like surrounding unmarried or like being an unmarried barren woman or like without children woman in our society today.
It's all
Goodness.
Eugene's fault.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. I mean, it's definitely Eugene's fault.
Well, if you're not using that uterus, why are you
then
even
why do you
alive?
have one?
Yeah.
Why do you
Really?
exist? Get out of here.
Yeah.
In
Woman.
that day, Yahweh's branch will be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the land will be the beauty and glory of the survivors of Israel. It will happen that he who is left in Zion and he who remains in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even everyone who is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the
Gracious.
blood of Jerusalem from its midst by the spirit of justice and by the spirit of burning.
There's a lot of women haters here, Eugene.
Yeah, okay.
Sam.
So I'm assuming by the direction that we're going that the women are a metaphor.
I think Dedeker, they're not being metaphorical here. I mean,
think
maybe
it might
they
be
You
are.
don't think so?
Yeah,
But I
mean,
feel like we established. I mean, I was the one who had to look up the whole Daughters of Zion thing for the last bonus episode.
can you refresh my memory? It was a week ago.
We like comparing Israel/Judah to a woman because you know how women are.
No,
Kind of
I
fickle
mean, I don't
and sinful
actually.
and need to be cared for and need to be
Okay.
shepherded and
Yeah.
easily led astray.
The message here says, God will give Zion's women a good bath.
I just imagine like rolling up to the freaking like pet grooming place where they stick like a leash around your neck.
Yeah,
and just...
that's probably what happened, actually. There's a
Right.
pet grooming guy, and he was like, can you do my woman too? And then they did it.
Yeah.
How about my 7 women?
Yeah.
And so Yahweh, I guess, shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from its midst by the spirit of justice and the spirit of burning. Okay. Yahweh will create over the whole habitation of Mount Zion and over her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day and the shining of a flaming fire by night.
Oh,
course.
We've been there
Callback.
before.
Callback.
Classic Yahweh
to
move.
Classic Exodus, yeah.
Yeah, he loves that.
And Genesis too, I guess, both.
Was he a flaming smoke
No,
boy?
it was only in Exodus. Yeah, he was over the tabernacle.
Yeah,
no, but
I remember
remember in Genesis he guided them across the desert as being a pillar of smoke.
That's not Genesis though. That was Exodus.
that was Exodus too.
Yeah.
They were exiting.
No, you're right.
Jace.
You're right. I'm so sorry. I'm ashamed. I feel deeply ashamed. You're right. That was
It's
all
okay.
Exodus.
Yahweh needs to remove your filth.
I need a good bath.
Somebody just said in the chat that I was an expert. Come on, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I don't know.
I predicted this, that after we did this podcast for a while, that when Bible debates would come up, Emily would become the one who's like, well, actually, this is how it happened.
I'm definitely going to
love
know
it.
more than like a lot of people out there, even
think you
maybe a lot
already
of
do.
Christians out there,
I think you already do.
about like this much of the Bible, like that much,
We're working on it.
like that much. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night. For over all the glory will be a canopy. There will be a pavilion for shade in the daytime from the heat, and for a refuge, and for a shelter from storm and from rain.
Like a nice gazebo.
Yeah. And that was the end
lovely.
of chapter 4.
Wow.
Super short.
We started with 7 women grabbing a guy, and we ended with a nice gazebo.
Well, gotta go.
You just never know with Isaiah.
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
He's all over the place. All right. I'm going to just continue on here. Chapter 5.
Yeah, let's do this.
Complete change. Let me sing for my well-beloved a song of my beloved about his
Wait.
vineyard.
Who? What?
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me rearrange my brain here.
Yep.
So we were talking
Okay.
about women, and now they distinctly said his.
Yeah, let me
And
sing about my
beloved.
beloved, who is a man, but it's written by Isaiah. But is he writing it metaphorically from
Is
the
he writing it
viewpoint
about
of Israel,
God?
who's a woman, or is it him writing to his beloved? And we have a new person to ship together.
I'm excited. Let's keep going.
Yeah. The message says, "I'll sing a ballad to the one I love, a love ballad
Oh.
about his vineyard."
Oh,
So here we are.
Way better than a cucumber garden.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Everyone knows cucumber
Okay.
gardeners are not sexy, but
No.
vintners, called vintners, grape farmers, what are they
Vintners?
called?
That sounds like
A
something I'd
vintner.
believe.
Vintner?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ready for this ballad? Here
Yeah.
it is. My beloved had a vineyard on a very fruitful hill. He dug it up, gathered out its stones, planted it with the choicest vine, built a tower in its midst, and also cut out a winepress therein. He
Okay,
looked
good.
He looked for it to yield grapes, but it yielded wild grapes.
Ooh, wild. What are we talking about here? Like a Shiraz? Like what's that? Like what kind of wild grapes?
I'm wondering if these are like bad grapes, like wild, like
It's
not good
grapes
for
that
wine.
on the vine, they're already boozy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bad,
Okay.
bad, naughty grapes.
The message says,
Naughty.
but for all his pains, he got garbage grapes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for spelling it out, message. Because wild just sounds like fun, sexy, even. But garbage is something else entirely.
Garbage grapes.
These
Who
garbage
is
grapes.
who is eating garbage grapes?
Eugene. Oh, who is eating garbage grapes?
Oh boy.
Oh,
The sequel
boy.
to Who is Eating Gilbert Grape. Okay.
Okay. Quote, now, inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, please judge between me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Why, when I looked for it to yield grapes, did it yield wild grapes, aka
Just
garbage
straight
grapes?
trash.
You just suck at it, man. I don't know. Like you can't be good at everything.
This quote is still continuing. I guess this is the beloved talking still in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it will be eaten up. I will break down its wall of it, and it will be trampled down. I will lay it a wasteland. It won't be pruned nor hoed, but it will grow briars and thorns. I will.
Oh, so he's just given up, throwing in the towel. I'm gonna go
He's
just
over it.
straight up garbage instead
He's
of
like-
just garbage grapes.
Yeah, he's
think
like, you know
so,
what?
yeah.
This Vinter thing ain't for me.
Yeah.
Vinter? Is that what you said?
Vintner?
I should have
Vintner?
never left my office job. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
I know
risked
nothing,
everything
literally
to
nothing
become a
about farming.
vintner. And it backfired. Okay.
I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain on it. End quote. For the
Okay.
vineyard of Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel, twist, and the men
Oh.
of Judah his pleasant plant.
Oh,
And-
who could see it coming?
The
Wait.
beloved was Yahweh all along.
Wait.
Man.
Oh, it is a metaphor. Cool. Got it.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, Emily, how would you explicate this metaphor?
Okay, so like Yahweh was like, okay, man, like I'm gonna quit my desk job of like creating the earth and whatever, and instead I'm gonna become a vintner, and my grapes are gonna be human beings. And he was like, I'm gonna give him everything, every single thing, and then they were terrible. They were
Garbage.
wild first. And then they became garbage. They were wild and like doing things like creating golden calves. And then they were just terrible and you couldn't eat them and you couldn't make wine out of them. And so he's like, you know what? Let's do flood number 2. Okay? Flood number 2 time.
Okay, hold on though. Does this mean that Yahweh is like the aliens in the Matrix? Because he's just growing these human
Isn't
beings
that
with
what
the
he
intention
is?
Of
crushing them
harvesting.
into a delicious wine for
That
his
sounds
enjoyment.
about right. It
I
sounds
like- yeah.
exactly like something he would do.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why every couple of years he's just like massive deaths.
Yeah.
Gotta do
Right.
the
Totally.
crush. The crush is what they call it in the Napa Valley.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
making wine, but out of people. But they're garbage people, so he can't make it. Okay.
Exactly.
I like it. I
Yes,
like it.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. Okay.
So he and the men of Judah were his pleasant plant. And he looked for
pleasant
justice,
plant.
but behold, oppression. For righteousness, but behold, a cry of distress. Woe to those who join house to house, who lay field to field until there is no room, and you are made to dwell alone in the midst of the land. Is this about like overpopulation in the cities? Like
I don't
bad
know.
subdivisions? I don't.
He's like, he's understanding what's going to happen in the future, and he's like, it's going to get way too chaotic,
Yeah.
way bigger than I ever anticipated. This was an experiment gone wrong.
In my ears, Yahweh of hosts says, quote, surely many houses will be desolate, even great and beautiful, unoccupied. For 10 acres of vineyard shall yield 1 bath and a homer of seed shall yield an ephah.
Okay, you're gonna have to translate all of that.
Now, conveniently, the World English Bible has some footnotes here.
Oh.
So, for 10
nice.
acres, then the footnote is literally 10 yokes, or the amount of land that 10 yokes of oxen can plow in a day, which is about 10 acres or 4 hectares. So 10 acres of
That's
land
a lot.
of a
10
vineyard
yokes of oxen. Okay, all right. Okay, sure. Gotcha.
shall yield 1 bath. 1 bath is about 22 litras, or 5.8 gallons.
So I need help though. Is that good? Is that a good
That's
yield? Is
bad.
that a bad
That's a
yield?
bad
Okay,
yield.
This is a bad yield.
We're
10
expecting
acres
many
of
baths.
wine, and we have 22 liters. That's pretty low.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And a homer is about 6 bushels, or 220 liters, of seeds shall yield an ephah, which is only 22 liters. So, like, we're getting even
Okay.
less grain
Okay.
than we had of
Just
seeds. Like, real
bad
bad.
returns.
Not
real
good.
bad.
Not
Yeah.
good.
Definitely garbage grapes.
Yeah.
Garbage.
It's a bad
grapes.
investment for
Yes.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
The end quote. That was the end of the quote. Now we're back to Isaiah talking.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to those who rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink. Stay.
Oh, so
Strong drink.
Like if you wake and drink right away, woe to you.
oh,
Also,
so that's the thing though. Is like for most of the history of this podcast, when I am in a country,
I've done
with
it
time
too.
zones, that's literally what I have to do is wake up and first thing in the morning start drinking. I'm called out. Called out.
I believe you also said woe to me during those times. Mm-hmm. So it fits.
If we're in like China or Japan, yeah.
We're often to get
it's
up
true.
at
It ruins your entire
10
day.
a.m.
Yep.
Whew.
Just nothing's getting done.
Yikes.
Semicolon, who stay late into the night until wine inflames them. I guess also woe to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
The harp, lyre, tambourine, and flute with wine are at their feasts, but they don't regard the work of Yahweh. Neither have they considered the operation of his hands.
He's working so hard with those hands of his. He's not working with his hands. Come on. He's just like thinking it. He's like, okay, there. Like, do you think he's like the genie in Aladdin? He's like, poof. How do you think he does this?
Really,
I'm asking you, like, what's he doing?
Like, are there special effects?
Yeah.
Is there a smoke bomb?
Totally.
Is there sparkles?
Yeah. Like, is it like a cloud of smoke and then all of a sudden like a human appears? Like, what's happening here?
I mean, that is a legitimate question, actually, because if we think back to Exodus when he really was like, cloud of smoke or pillar of fire, or stick your hand in your robe, Moses, and pull it out. It's going to be all leprous. Like, he's much more flashy and showy. Mm-hmm. But as Yahweh's kind of stepped back a little bit and has been less hands-on, I don't know. Maybe he's just got a little more refined in his methods, or more lazy, less of a showman, perhaps.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, it's sort of like he set up the ant farm and now has just been kind of watching the ants do their thing. You know, maybe that's
only
that's
occasionally getting out the the magnifying glass.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Therefore, my people, go into captivity for lack of knowledge. Their honorable men are famished, and their multitudes are parched with thirst. Therefore, Sheol has enlarged its desire, and opened its mouth without measure. If we remember, Sheol is the underworld at this time.
Yeah.
So it's going to let in a lot more people.
Yeah, it's ready for people to chomp.
So wait a minute. I thought that like hell was not like a place in the Old Testament, but Sheol is a place?
Yeah, so
my impression was that Sheol was less of the way we think of hell, like it's a punishment and it's fiery. I thought that what we learned Sheol is more of like a cold under the ground or under the ocean place, and it's just like the underworld. It's not necessarily like this is your punishment, right?
Yeah, from what we looked into and what I've read, it's kind of more like the underworld when we think of the imagery from like Greek and Roman mythology.
Okay.
Where the underworld, where Hades or Pluto is in charge, isn't itself good or bad, but
it's just where
everyone goes there, and maybe there's good and bad places within it, but it's just kind of like that's the place.
So heaven is like not a thing yet, or it
does not seem to be, other than the concept of Yahweh being out there somewhere, but there's not, I don't think we're quite to the point of this concept of heaven and hell, good and bad, punishment and reward. Not the same way that we have now.
Right. Yes, our friend John Michael in the chat is pointing out that he says most experts think at this point they hadn't really evolved a concept of afterlife, but more Sheol is just like literally where the bodies were buried.
Okay.
Maybe it was a little more literal and less metaphorical as it became later. Okay, anyway, we want more dead people is kind of what's happening. So Sheol has enlarged its desire. And their glory, their multitude, their pomp, and he who rejoices among them descend into it. So man is brought low, mankind is humbled, and the eyes of the arrogant ones are humbled. But Yahweh of hosts is exalted in justice, and God, the Holy One, is sanctified in righteousness. Then the lambs will graze as in their pasture, and strangers will eat the ruins of the rich.
I'm sorry.
Like the dead bodies of the rich? Or just like the stuff that they had?
I think the stuff they had, the ruins of the rich, not the bodies of the rich.
I mean, I don't know. Cannibalism has shown up before in this book.
And I mean, eat the rich. That's a theme that maybe has some older ties than we realize.
Yeah,
I'm vegan.
eat the rich is very
I'm
biblical.
vegan, but,
yeah.
you know.
Okay, so woe to those who draw iniquity with cords of falsehood and wickedness as with cart rope. They draw it like they're pulling iniquity behind them, I guess. Who say, quote, "Let him make speed, let him hasten his work, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the holy ones of Israel draw near and come, that we may know it." End quote. I don't really know what that was about.
Yeah, sometimes it's like Isaiah, he's going along, and I'm like, okay, this image, all right, great, 7 women and a dude, great, love it, I can get on board. And then he suddenly veers off into something really philosophical and poetic, and it's hard to get back sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's see what the message says. The message says, "Doom to you who use lies to sell evil, who haul sin to market by the truckload, who say, quote, 'What's God waiting for? Let him get a move on so we can see it. Whatever the Holy of Israel is cooked up, we'd like to check it out.'" End quote.
Eugene.
Eugene.
Oh, Eugene. God bless you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy. Okay. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. I did that cooking once. It was no good. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe to those who are mighty to drink wine and champions at mixing strong drink.
Yes.
Awkward.
Emily.
Oh, why, thank you. I don't know if I call myself a champion, but
A champion at mixing
Aspiring
strong
champion.
drink. Yeah.
A
Aspiring.
champion at mixing drinks. That's
Love it.
beautiful.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Who, the list of who we're saying woe to. Those who acquit the guilty for a bribe, but deny justice for the innocent. Therefore, as the tongue of fire devours the stubble, and as the dry grass sinks down in flame, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust. Because they have rejected the law of Yahweh of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Yeah. Therefore, Yahweh's anger burns against his people, and he has stretched out his hand against them, and he has struck them. The mountains tremble, and their dead bodies are as refuse in the midst of the streets. For
Gross.
all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is still stretched out. He will...
But you know what? You know what, though? I'm kind of enjoying Yahweh being back in the picture and not being quite so freaking passive.
Yeah,
it's nice.
That's true. That's
nice.
true.
Like, welcome back, The Rock.
Yeah.
I also
we missed
like
you.
that we're talking about The Rock with kind of more concrete imagery. And I feel like we
Yeah.
haven't had
Rock,
that in a while.
concrete. Love it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
that's
good.
That's good. That's good.
Well done.
Good.
He will
All right,
lift
we're
up
almost
a
there.
banner from the nations from far. He will lift up a banner to the nations from far, and he will whittle for them from the end of the earth. Whistle. He will whistle, not whittle. Gosh,
Whistle
we're
while you
already
work.
here.
I had
Whistle.
a beautiful image in my mind, though, of The Rock just like whittling away, making a little wooden duck or something.
Little walks.
Little rocks.
Little rocks. That's
Little
what I
rocks.
meant.
Yeah. He will whistle for them. He's like, I can't whistle right now. Anyway, behold,
Whistle well at all.
they
Yeah.
will come speedily and swiftly. None shall be weary, nor stumble along them. None shall slumber nor sleep, neither shall the belt of their loins be untied. Keep it girded. Yep. Nor
Keep it tight.
nor
Keep it
the
in there.
nor the latchet of their shoes be broken.
The latchet.
What is a latchet on
Like the
shoes?
Like
The
a
buckle?
like a buckle, like here, like
Like they're
Like there.
Emily is shoving her foot
Like there,
into
literally.
the
Oh, yeah.
camera.
That's your
buckle.
latchet. Your latchets.
Like the Puritans. Like
Yeah.
the Crucible.
did it.
Right,
Oh my
like
gosh,
the Crucible.
I love that play.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
There's also a really surprisingly good opera of the Crucible. It's like a modern 20th century opera.
Okay.
Right.
Quick
20
Crucible
21st century
tangent.
opera. Anyway, sorry. None shall be weary nor stumble, blah, 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 nor the latchet of their shoes be broken. Whose arrows are sharp, and all their bows bent, the horses' hooves will be like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. Their roaring will be like a lioness. They will roar like young lions. Yes, they shall roar like Katy Perry, and seize their prey, and carry it off, and there will be no one to deliver. They will roar against them in that day, like the roaring of the sea. We get multiple roarings.
So many roars.
Every roar.
If you do not understand what a roar is, let me really paint a picture for you with many examples.
Roar, there's a cat roar, there's a little lion roar, and there's a big lion roar.
If one looks to the land, behold, darkness and distress. The light is darkening in the clouds. End of chapter.
Wow. Jeez,
Yeah.
Isaiah. I just imagine every one of these is like a little mini performance, you know, like he has gone to open mic night.
Oh, for
is
sure.
dropping this.
Yeah. Definitely a good open mic night.
And no one really knows what it means, but like we all clap and like give him compliments because we don't want to be seen as like uncultured and silly and unintelligent. So we're like, oh yeah, the lion thing. Oh, just so deep, like so postmodern, Isaiah.
Totally.
The imagery and the metaphor was beautiful.
It was amazing. Yeah. Alrighty, well, should we do one more or should we do an intermission?
Nah, we got to take an intermission. I've torn through this beer.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
I got to go get a new drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've also torn through this whiskey and La Croix, so we gotta get a break in here.
God, I'm sorry. Just Daniel in the chat is suggesting that Judi Dench and James Corden play all the lions. All the lions in the Bible. I'm assuming in the really terrible Cats.
That's a Cats reference
costumes.
For anybody. I still haven't seen it. I would need to be in a specific place mentally and emotionally to deal with that.
I begged Jace to go and see Cats.
I've seen it live. It was the first. Mom, I don't care.
Mom I do not care about the live version.
She knows that it was the very first thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, but Emily, you know that that's not the version any of us are thinking about or talking about.
No, but
I begged
but
Jace
it was good
to go see it in theater, and he refused, and so I've still yet to see it.
I did not refuse. I was just slightly hesitant, and then you did not push the issue. Anyway, I actually was thinking back to the story where we had the lion, which we had cast as James Earl Jones, and then the donkey, who was Eddie Murphy, who were next to each other. No, not Balaam the donkey, but the donkey that stood next to the lion and was like, "Whoa, dude, you just killed that guy." Mm-hmm. I do kind of love the idea of James Corden doing that too. So if James Earl Jones is busy, maybe then James Corden could be our backup. What do you think?
I'm sure there will be a place for him in this.
And then we get someone named James either way, so we don't have to change that part.
There you go. Like that part in the contract? Like what? Okay.
That line in the contract
like,
we don't have to
cross out
change.
Earl Jones and put Corden above it, but keep the James. Cool.
Perfect.
Good. Solid. Okay, now it's time for us to do a little break.
Yeah.
Okay,
right?
but before we do that break...
Oh, yeah, we have to say stuff before.
We have to say stuff. We have to tell you very important information. Okay. And we're back. Okay, let's see if I can get it together.
I have faith in you.
For once. I don't have faith in me. I don't know what's into me today, but I'm just very giggly. Okay.
It's all right.
I can do it. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. That's very luxurious.
Just like a giant train. It was just like in the temple.
The train of his dress.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was envisioning. Very RuPaul, something just ridiculous and huge and flowy.
Yeah, I thought it was like a giant, like actual train, like a car, like the train car was just like in the temple.
I mean, that's so also fun that Yahweh comes in on like a flying train, kind of like his flying chariot. That's also
and he just
cool.
Everything else in the temple just like gets bashed out of the way for his train.
That's good. So I did want to point out that this is King Uzziah dying, who, remember yesterday when we talked about kind of the timeline of this. So Isaiah starts writing this toward the end of Uzziah's reign, and now Uzziah's dying, and that means we move on to whoever was next. I forget who, but maybe
I'm sure we'll find out.
Okay.
Jinx.
We will definitely find out. Okay. Above him stood the seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. With 2, he covered his face.
Okay.
With 2,
see no evil.
He covered his feet.
Walk no evil.
With 2, he flew.
Fly evil.
Fly evil. Okay.
Now, let me tell this sounds like some psychedelics here.
For
honestly.
sure.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. For sure Isaiah's doing something. He's taking some kind of psychoactive plant, going out in the desert, having a good time.
I think he's been taking something, considering like all of his metaphors.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember learning about like the Oracle of Delphi, that the theory was that the place where they did the oracling may have had some gases that were emitted there that caused hallucinations that were prophecies or whatever.
It's like hallucinogens have been in our collective conscience forever, or for like a lot.
Absolutely.
Long old time. Old time. Yeah. One called to another and said, "Holy, holy, holy is Yahweh of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory."
It's almost like a little rhyme.
There.
Wait, because how many seraphim are there?
It just said there's some. So
okay, so they're yelling at each other while they're covering their faces and their feet, and they're flying. That seems like a lot of work at once, and then they're also talking.
Yeah.
Cool.
The foundations of the threshold shook at the voice of him who called, and the house was filled with smoke.
Oh.
See, he is a magician. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, see, he is hotboxing this whole time.
Oh my gosh.
Then...
What's a hotbox? Oh, that's a hotbox.
Okay. Then I said, "Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, for my eyes have seen the King, Yahweh of hosts." Then one of the seraphim flew to me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar. Okay.
What?
It gets better. He touched my mouth with it and said,
"That would hurt."
"Behold, this has touched your lips, and your iniquity is taken away, and your sin forgiven." I heard the Lord's voice saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" Then I said, "Here I am, send me."
I volunteer as
Isaiah?
tribute.
Wait, is this Isaiah or is this another seraphim?
I think this is Isaiah.
I'm pretty sure it's Isaiah recounting this experience of what he saw in a dream or hallucination or something.
Cool.
Yeah, honestly, I'm loving this. This is super
Wait, is Isaiah
cool.
the hotbox? Or like,
oh my gosh.
Is he the one who's hallucinating, or is it...
He is the one who saw this vision and he's recounting it.
Okay, it's not
Isaiah.
God who's... Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Isaiah,
Got it.
yes.
Thank you.
He said, "Go and tell this people, you hear indeed, but don't understand, and you see indeed, but don't perceive. Make the heart of this people fat, make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and turn again and be healed." Then I said, the natural question that was on everyone's mind, "Lord, how long?"
What's how long?
I see. Okay. How long is this going to happen where you're going to blind everyone and
guess.
Yeah, because like... Ugh.
He answered, "Until cities are waste without inhabitant, and houses without man, and the land becomes utterly waste, and Yahweh has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land. If there are yet a tenth in it, it also shall in turn be eaten up, as a terebinth."
What's
and
a
as an
terebinth?
oak.
I'm sorry, what?
A terebinth.
Like a
Terebin? No. You're thinking of a cherubim. Terebinth. Terebinth.
But
It
yeah,
sounds like
very
a race of Star Wars aliens to me.
terebinth is a small southern European tree of the cashew family that was formerly
What?
a source of turpentine.
Oh, okay. Great.
Cool.
As a terebinth and as an oak whose stalk remains when they are felled, so the holy seed is its stalk. That's the end of that chapter.
Wow, that was a lot. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, that was... he's kind of going deeper every time.
Yeah.
It's like he's really working up his tolerance to whatever psychoactive drug it is that he's taking.
Oh my gosh.
And needs to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the vision quest.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This next chapter is an exciting one. So everyone who had tuned out during that last chapter, pay attention, because
How do you know? Did you read ahead? You got spoilers?
He always
see
does a
that-
little bit.
I always have to for putting the write-up for the episode, but also this has a chapter heading in the message, but I will not tell you what it is until we get there.
Boy, okay. It happened in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham,
That's
the
the
son
next
of
guy.
Uzziah. No, he's the grandson of Uzziah, king of Judah.
But he's the
That-
next guy.
No, Ahaz is the guy, right?
Ahaz is
the
guy.
next guy after Uzziah. Uzziah?
Oh no,
Well, it
actually,
says it's the son of Jotham who's the son of Uzziah, so I think that Jotham happened in
right.
between.
Jotham's in between. You're right.
We're just skipping past Jotham. No one
Yeah,
cares.
they're like, He probably was like a 3-monther or something. One of those
Yeah, actually, we
3-monthers.
did have a lot of really short ones, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably true.
Cool.
It happened in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Syria,
Resin?
and Pekah. Oh, Pekah's back.
Oh, Pika.
Pika.
Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, went up to Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it.
Mm-hmm.
It was told the house of David, saying, Syria is allied with Ephraim. His heart trembled, and the heart of his people, as the trees of the forest tremble with the wind. Then Yahweh said to Isaiah, Go out now to meet Ahaz, you and you
Uh-huh.
you and I was doing so well.
She's got
you
this.
and Shirjshub, your
Who?
son.
Oh, your son, Shirjshub.
Shirjshub.
Jashub.
Shirjshub.
Quite a name.
I've got intel. This name means a remnant will return.
Good. I don't care. It sounds silly.
It's definitely silly.
Shirjshub.
Okay, so Isaiah has a son. Good to know.
Yep.
Oh.
Shirjshub.
Oh, I didn't
Your
get
son.
that. Thanks for... Wait, really? Whoa.
That's what it says.
Cool.
At the end of the conduit of the upper pool on the highway of the fuller's field, tell him, be careful and keep calm. Don't be afraid. Neither let your heart be faint because of these 2 tails of smoking firebrands, for the fierce anger of Rezin and Syria and of the son of Remaliah. Because Syria, Ephraim, and the son of Remaliah have plotted evil against you, saying, Let's go up against Judah and tear it apart, and let's divide it amongst ourselves and set up a king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabil. He'll do. This is what the Lord Yahweh says. It shall not stand, neither shall it happen. For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin, and within 65 years Ephraim shall be broken in pieces, so that it shall not be a people. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is Remaliah's son. It's like that meme where
This is really
all the red
convoluted.
yarn. It's the red yarn with all the conspiracy theory notes and photos.
I'm doing
attached.
this right now. It's going over my head. But...
Or it's like the meme of trying to read Isaiah 7 and it's all the math
it's that
equations
lady
floating
who's
around.
like-
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
If you will not believe, surely you shall not be established.
Are we at the place yet, Jace, that you're like, there's a thing
No,
that's going to
no,
happen?
we're not there
Like, has
yet.
it happened? Or
We're not
no?
there yet.
Okay, thank you.
Yahweh spoke again to Ahaz, saying, Ask a sign of Yahweh your God. Ask it either in the depth or in the height above. But
Okay, wait. So
this was like,
hang on.
Yeah, this was like, was it Isaiah who gave the option before of like he can either turn time forwards at the same
you're
rate that it
right.
does, or backwards as a sign?
Yeah, totally. Yes, I'm glad that we've made that connection, because I was like, we got to get grounded again, because we've gone off on this like tangent of heads of state of various places.
Wait, you're saying
Right.
that time can move forwards and backwards like it has in the past? Because
No,
time,
remember-
No.
because Einstein?
Oh my gosh. No.
Okay, we got to bring us closer to the plot, closer to the thread, not
Right.
further away, Emily.
Do you remember back in 2 Kings when Ahaz was gonna, or I don't know if it was Ahaz, I don't remember, but someone was gonna die, and the prophet Isaiah put fig Newtons on him, and then he's like, but how do I know I'm gonna live? Because of Yahweh and not because of the fig Newtons. And he's like, well, ask him for a miracle. Do you want time to go forward or backward? And he's like, I don't know, backward I guess is more impressive. And then the shadow moved backward that day. This is that reference now, but we're like
Okay,
lining
so
up
it's
with
not
that.
him
So it's not
giving the
quite-
choice.
So it's not quite Albert Einstein, but like in the realm.
Sure, sure. I'm going to keep reading.
Okay, yeah.
But Ahaz said, I will not ask, neither will I tempt Yahweh.
Okay. He's like, I saw that once, I don't need to see it again.
Yeah. He said, listen now, house of David. Is it not enough for you to try the patience of men, that you will try the patience of my God also? Therefore,
I thought that's
the
what they
Lord
were
himself
always
will give
doing.
you a sign. Oh, this is where it is. This is where it is. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin will conceive and bear a son.
Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son. That's
And
from
shall
Handel's
call-
Messiah. That's what
and
I was
shall-
singing.
Oh, I should know that.
Yep.
And shall call his name Emmanuel. That's the
Yep.
one.
Emmanuel.
That's the
Call
verse.
his name Emmanuel. And then the chorus comes in. Glory
Daniel's
to
so
God.
excited.
Glory to God in the highest.
Wait,
Yeah.
Emmanuel
Yes.
isn't Jesus.
No, Emmanuel means God with us, or God is with us.
That's also a line in Handel's Messiah. It says, God with us. Yeah, okay. Anyway. I gotta say, Handel's Messiah is actually one of my favorite pieces of
We're gonna
music.
sing it now, but we need to
ever?
sing it with every.
Daniel's gonna
like,
arrange it now.
everyone for
Perfect.
four-part harmony. Oh boy, I mean, we can call
man.
upon some people to do it.
Yeah.
So Emily, this is significant. Like, this is the verse in Isaiah that's pointed to as predicting or prophesying the birth of Jesus.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
she
behold,
so does
a
not
virgin
care.
shall
No, I
conceive.
care. I mean,
This
neat.
is-
Okay, but like, we're still in like the Jewish.
I know you're right. We
Bible.
should. I think right. If we're reading this as a book, we read this and we're like, okay, and then when we get to that point, we're like, oh shit, that was the thing from back. You're right. So we should save our excitement.
Okay, all right, we're saving our excitement. Now, I did not know the rest of this prophecy about Jesus, supposedly. He shall eat butter and honey when he knows to refuse the evil and choose the good.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. For before the child knows to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land whose 2 kings you abhor shall be forsaken.
Is this all also in the New Testament?
I am not familiar with any references to Jesus Christ eating butter and honey. This is new to me.
2 kings you abhor shall be forsaken? All
2
that I know
kings.
is Pontius Pilate and King Herod from Jesus Christ Superstar.
I think that this reference to the 2 kings is the kings that are currently threatening Israel, which is the king of Syria and the king of what was the other one? Babylon.
Okay.
I think it's a reference to them.
Okay.
Yes. Yahweh will bring on you, on your people, and on your father's house days that have not come, from the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Assyria. It will happen in that day that Yahweh will whistle for the fly that is in the uppermost
Whistle
part
while you work.
of the rivers of Egypt, and And for the bee that is in the land of Assyria. Now you're singing that, Emily, but it's actually appropriate. It's very Disney princess, where he's got all these like flying woodland creatures
For sure.
coming around him. They shall come and shall all rest in the desolate valleys, in the clefts of the rocks, on all thorn hedges, and on all pastures. In that day, the Lord will shave with a razor that is hired
Excuse me?
in the parts beyond the river,
What?
even with the king of Assyria, the head and the hair of the feet, and shall also consume the beard.
Wait,
Jace, what is happening?
He's going to
like,
take off his beard and also his hair.
foot hair.
His foot hair.
hobbity foot
Okay.
hair.
His hair feet.
Okay.
His foot
I
hair.
am so excited to read to you this translation from Eugene Peterson /
Levy's.
Eugene Levy. Now, if you could imagine this being read by Eugene Levy,
I would.
this is
He's got to be. What is he in our show? Is he in our?
Remember, it's like Monty
Movie?
Python. We'll cut to him occasionally as like the narrator,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah,
as he's
he-
like writing this translation.
right. He plays the part of Eugene Peterson writing the message about
He and
all
his
of this.
son could be in
Yeah.
it, like at the same time. Love it. Okay. Let's do
That'd
it.
be fun. Yeah, maybe his son could come in and like add some little commentary to things or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Totes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So imagine this is Eugene Levy saying this.
Okay.
And that's when the master will take the razor rented from across the Euphrates, the king of Assyria.
razor.
I would never
Rental
rent
razor.
a razor. As someone who's worked at the art of shaving, do not rent a razor.
Don't rent
okay?
a razor. Yeah. From across the Euphrates, the king of Assyria, no less, and shave the hair off of your heads and genitals.
Oh boy, right, feet. Feet are the euphemism for
Right.
your private parts.
Leaving you shamed, exposed, and denuded.
You just sound like the guy who does
Professor Brothers, I know. It's Brad Neely.
Yeah, Brad Neely.
Okay. Yeah.
He'll shave off your beards while he's at it.
Wow. Okay, so Yahweh's gonna shave you.
Yes.
Of course he is. Like,
Specifically,
of course he is. Like,
your
he
head
does, like, everything.
And your genitals, and then
anything-
your beard.
Oh gosh.
Got it.
Okay.
Are we done with this chapter? No, we're not. Okay.
No, we
Okay.
have Isaiah has at least like 6 more metaphors
Okay,
to
let's
throw at
do
us.
it.
yeah.
Give it to me,
do
baby.
it, do it.
It shall happen in that day that a man shall keep alive a young cow and 2 sheep. And it shall happen that because of the abundance of milk which they shall give, he shall eat butter. For everyone will eat butter and honey that is left in the midst of the land. It will happen in that day that every place where there were 1,000 vines at 1,000 silver shekels shall be for briars and thorns.
Yeah.
People will go there with arrows and with bow, because all the land will be briars and thorns. All the hills that were cultivated with the hoe, you shall not come there, for fear of briars and thorns.
Such fear.
But it shall be for the sending forth of oxen and for the treading of sheep. Wow,
Huh?
Isaiah.
That's
wow.
that's it, right? That's the end of the chapter.
Do I get to read yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Emily,
That's the end.
please bring us home. Also, the title of that last chapter was "A Virgin Shall Conceive," so that's
Okay.
that was the
Got it.
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
big
Got
deal headline. Yeah.
Thanks, Eugene. Okay. Chapter 8. Yahweh said to me, "Take a large tablet and write on it with a man's pen."
What?
This pen is only for men.
This is a man's pen.
It's like when
oh,
Gillette
like-
used to be like, "This is a man's razor." Yeah. It's like Gillette now is like, "This is a man's pen."
Hold on, but at this time, would there even be women's pens? Would they even let women
No,
write
of
anything?
course not. Of course, I don't
my
even know why
gosh.
they have to like say a man's pen. Good. All right, whatever. So he's gonna write with a man's pen on this big,
Tablet.
this big ass tablet for Meher Shal Hashbaz. Which apparently means quick to the plunder, swift to the spoil. According to this.
That sounds like,
thing.
like a penny saved, a penny earned, like a little aphorism.
Sure, yeah.
What was it? Quick to the plunder, quick to the spoil?
Quick to the plunder, swift to the spoil.
Swift to the spoil. That's good.
So, and I will take to me faithful witnesses to record Uriah the priest and Zechariah the son of Jerbechiah. Jerbechiah.
What was his son's name?
Gorbachev.
Sherbachov?
Yes, Gorbachev.
Sherbachov is what it was.
Jeberchicha. Shicha. What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
Looking at it, Jeberach. I don't
See,
know.
it's not easy. It's not easy.
This is not a combination of consonants I was ever expecting to encounter in my lifetime.
Well, that's happened. That's happened more times than I ever expected in this book.
I say Jeberachaya.
Anyways, that guy. I went to the prophetess, and she conceived and bore a son. Is that that one lady?
No, just a prophetess. I don't know.
Okay, just a prophetess. She's unnamed because women don't get pens. Then said Yahweh to me, call his name Maher-Shal Hashbaz.
Oh, that's the name he wrote down on the paper. Oh,
that's for
I
the
get
child.
Do you?
No, he's setting up like a Chris Angel style thing where he writes down on a paper.
Excuse me?
Maher Shalal Hashbaz and puts it in an envelope, and then later, goes and she names him, and then he pulls out the envelope. He's like, "See, I predicted that."
Is this your card?
Exactly.
What? Okay. For before the child shall have knowledge to cry. Come on, they cry immediately. They're supposed to. You slap them and they cry.
So
it's like
very,
a thing,
it's very
right?
fast. It's like
go
immediately
cry.
before it even took its first breath.
Mm-hmm.
My father and my mother, the riches of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria shall be carried away before the king of Assyria.
Oh, that's what he's saying. He's saying, like, before this baby even cries, all your riches will be carried away. Or we've plundered their riches. Wait, which is it? The king of Assyria will have plundered the wealth of Damascus and the riches of Samaria. Yeah, so you will get plundered before this baby even says mommy daddy.
Okay. Wow.
Goo goo gaga.
Yahweh spoke to me yet again, saying, because this people have refused the waters of Shiolah that go softly and rejoice in Rezin and Remaliah's son, now therefore behold, the Lord brings up on them the waters of the river, strong and many, even the king of Assyria and all his glory, and it shall come up over all its channels and go over all its banks. And it shall sweep onward into Judah, and it shall overflow and pass through, and it shall reach even to the neck. And the stretching out of its wings shall fill the breadth of your land, Emmanuel. What?
Wow, he's just really going for it.
Wait, he just said Emmanuel. Is he talking about what's happening?
Okay. In the Message it says, because when all is said and done, the last word is Emmanuel, God with us.
Okay, sure. So he's just kind of driving home.
I think he's just saying, like, yeah, you're all fussing over all this stuff, but, like, at the end, God's with us, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, like, he's not literal anymore. Like, he's just being, like, unliteral. Whatever.
Unliteral. Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda's really hard to follow. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like, my mom was right. She was like, this is a weird book. And I'm like, yeah, it really is. Yeah, okay.
It really is.
Make an uproar, O you peoples, and be broken into pieces, and give ear, all you of far countries. Gird yourselves and be broken in pieces. Gird yourselves and be broken in pieces. We have to say it again. Take counsel together, and it shall be brought to nothing. Speak the word, and it shall not stand, for God is with us. What?
I think
it's
we
like,
just gotta
regardless of
roll
what
with
you
it.
do, like, God is here.
He's just babbling at this point.
Babylon.
He just came back from the 7-day ayahuasca retreat that he paid way too much money for. Like, he's just going. You got to just let him go.
I think he's in the midst of the 7-day ayahuasca retreat.
Yeah, that's possible.
And he saw Jesus in there and he was like, Emmanuel! Or whatever Jay said.
What verse did you just read?
10?
What number? That was 10? Okay, right.
10 and before.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's in the middle of it, because I'm just looking ahead in the message here, and it's still...
Okay.
He's in the thick of this vision right here.
Okay, here we go. For Yahweh spoke thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me not to walk in the ways of this people, saying, don't you say a conspiracy. No QAnoners out there. Concerning all
Yahweh
about...
says it's right here in the Bible.
Exactly.
Don't go along with that.
Concerning all about which this people shall say a conspiracy. Neither fear... Wow, this is really interesting, actually. Neither fear their fear, nor be in dread of it. Yahweh of hosts shall you sanctify, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. He shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the house of Israel, for a jinn, like a genie, or a little, like, Hendrix bottle.
How is it spelled?
Gin? I guess a jinn is Jin, right? Like a genie.
No, a jinn, like a genie, is a D. I always saw it written as DJ. Yeah, DJ. Yeah.
He's a DJ.
I'm DJing over here. So, okay, the message, though, has a line that says, the rock, in capitals, the capital rock. So
God.
Referring to Dwayne.
Yeah, obviously.
Standing in the willful way of both houses of Israel. A barbed wire fence preventing trespass to the citizens of Jerusalem. So that's a good definition of the rock. I don't understand.
I don't know. Okay, anyway, we're
so close.
We're getting there.
So close, yes.
Okay. So for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, many shall stumble thereon and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. I will wait for Yahweh, who hides his face from the house of Jacob. That was just for you, Annalisa. And I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom Yahweh has given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel from Yahweh's of hosts who dwells in Mount Zion. When they shall tell you, consult with those who have familiar spirits and with the what? Yeah, I don't know.
Were you just about to talk about wizards and I cut you off?
Yeah.
Yes, I think we ended a thought, though. We should take a moment.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah, the image that's coming
Something
to
about
mind
Mount Zion.
is I just have an image of Isaiah in the thick of the trip, right? Whatever it is he's taken, he's in the thick of it. He is on the ground, he is rolling around, and he has asked his friend to write down whatever he says. He's just trust me, dude. Just record what I say. It's going to be important later.
Is his friend sober at this point?
I think his friend is sober because his friend is just furiously trying to describe all the nonsense that Isaiah is saying for them to piece out afterwards. That's the only way I can parse this. Is he is just on the ground, rolling around, eyes wild, just having a good time.
Yeah, I don't know. We're close here, though.
Okay,
let's talk about wizards. When they shall tell you, consult with those who have familiar spirits, and with the wizards who chirp and who mutter. Shouldn't a people consult with their God on behalf of the living? Should they consult with the dead?
So no mediums. Mediums are bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the law and to the testimony! Exclamation point. Lowercase. If they don't, why is that? That's weird. There's like an exclamation point and then it's like in the middle of the sentence.
Again, maybe his friend isn't actually sober who's scribing all this.
Probably not. To the law and to the testimony, if they don't speak according to this word, surely there is no mourning for them. They shall pass through it, sore, distressed, and hungry, and it shall happen that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves, and curse by their king and by their God, and turn their faces upward. And they shall look to the earth. Wait, but they're looking upward. That doesn't make sense. And see distress and darkness, the gloom of anguish, and into the thick darkness they shall be driven away. That's it. That's the end of 8. We're done.
Wow.
We're done. Wow, Isaiah. Is this like going to be like your whole thing, bro?
Is the book of Isaiah going to be a whole arc of him tripping? Like, this is kind of, we're on the incline, like we're coming up to the peak. Because we started out where he was definitely very poetic and,
yeah, but he was like, coherent.
Artistic, but coherent. And we are getting to the point of just like, what? Shaving genitals.
I mean, that was exciting. That was probably the highlight of the whole thing. Gosh, yeah. Like, okay, this is... I have a feeling we're going to be in for this for a while because we're in the prophets now. Because we're following the Jewish order of books, which means we're going to read all of the major prophets now, and Isaiah is the first of the major prophets.
How is any young person expected to read this and understand any of it? Like, truly,
honestly,
I can't understand it. Like,
the only exposure I got to Isaiah was that one verse predicting Jesus.
My mom is like, so the prophets are all on something? I mean, I suppose. I don't know. I haven't read it yet.
Maybe a couple other verses that also suggest Jesus, but that was about it. I never had to sit and read all of this straight through.
Yeah, this is, I'm actually, I will say, I'm super excited about this because when we set out on this task, this ambitious task of reading the whole Bible.
So ambitious. It really is, though. Like, it's ambitious to read the whole Bible.
We did not spend nearly enough time thinking about what we were actually getting into.
Listen, people who actually do this and, like, read it in a year, they're skimming a lot of this, okay? They're not really analytically thinking about it and drinking in the midst of it. They're not.
Either they're skimming or they're finding a way to read it where they can still sleep at night and just close that book and walk away.
Yeah, I don't know how. Okay.
I feel like it's, at least from my experience in the past reading the Bible, not with other people. And I could see the advantage of Bible study just as a general concept of like a book club, right?
General concept.
I'm going to read it and try to actually understand it so that I could talk about it, as opposed to reading it and it's just sort of like this chapter would just, I read it and I'm like, cool, check that box in my reading plan, but I didn't retain any of it. But we're going to go record a bonus episode and, think about this a little more and talk about it and try to understand some things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down in our notes for stuff to look up in the bonus episode. These are the only 3 things that I wrote down. I don't know if this is going to be enough content to pad out a bonus episode.
I think we can talk about a lot here.
We probably can, but the 3 things I wrote down were the garbage grapes, butter and honey, and I wrote down WTF is Isaiah talking about. So
I think we could also talk about this
for
prophecy a little bit.
Yeah, I think we could look into that. Yeah.
Tons of content on that, I am sure.
Yeah, I'd be interested to like dive deeper into this prophecy and understand like, okay, so what is this? What's happening here? And
Now,
not necessarily from a Christian perspective, like from other perspectives.
Well, right. Yeah. So I think that someone pointed out in the chat before that the whole thing about the virgin conceiving and whatever, that in the Jewish tradition, that's not really considered to have anything to do with the Messiah, whoever that may be, and that it was more about what was happening right then. And actually reading it now in context, I'm like, yeah, he talks about this virgin conceiving and then talks about, and then you won't worry about these 2 kings who are threatening you right now. It sounds
and that
much more immediate to the time frame.
Yeah. And then, I mean, did that actually happen? Like, no, right?
Well,
we're not
also as someone
yet.
pointed out in the chat, I'm so sorry because it's been gone now, so I'm so sorry that I'm not getting your name in. But this has also been pointed out by several other historians that there's also a problem with the word virgin, that virgin doesn't always necessarily mean what we think of as a virgin, as like a woman who hasn't had sex, but in a lot of different historical contexts and cultural contexts, it just meant an unmarried woman.
Oh, well.
Or even just a young woman.
Or even just a young woman. And so if we're really looking at this prophecy in its most diluted and simple version, he's literally just saying a woman's going to give birth.
Cool.
Hey.
Like, they do every day. Wow.
To a kid who's going to be Emmanuel.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you're not going to worry about these kings.
Yes.
So, yeah, it is.
So, like, the big king thing was, like, not actually great. Remember when all y'all wanted kings?
Right. Samuel was really trying to talk
No.
everybody out of wanting kings.
Yeah,
and
he knew what was up. And
No
Saul
one
was
wanted
like,
him.
I will be king. And then
This
is the
David was
problem,
like,
though,
I'll
is-
be a king.
is, I guess, Yahweh never really put forth the alternative, other than I guess the alternative was supposed to be, I'm the ultimate king as Yahweh, and you just set up a series of like judges and a chain of command that deals with that, and you just take your orders directly from me. I guess,
Yeah.
was that the implication? I don't know.
I don't know either. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Dedeker and I have recently been watching a BBC series called Wolf Hall that's all about the
I'm sure you
Tudors
have.
and
Oh, it's
that
so good.
era. And
Oh.
yeah, I mean, watching that though, I'm like, yeah, this whole monarchy thing is bull poop. So, I mean, I'm on board here that I think,
Well,
I
you
think
should
Yahweh
watch
was
The
right.
Crown, because, like, they do it better there, kind of. Maybe? I don't know.
It's all
That's
bull poop.
debatable.
It's so ridiculous. The whole
That's
thing's
debatable.
ridiculous.
Um,
Anyway,
but we should move on to
Yes.
recording a bonus.
Okay.
let's do it.
All right, I'm going to bring us home. Yeah, so if y'all want to toast on the show, sign up to become one of our parishioners at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. And come and hang out with us on drunkbiblestudy.com/live, because we have such a fun time every week. You get to see things like the buckles on my shoe. You get to see personally like what I'm drinking, and it's always beautiful. I promise to make it beautiful for you. And we just have a great time, and we get to talk in the chat and stuff, and I love that. So thank you for joining us for Drunk Bible Study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoyed the show, take a moment to subscribe and write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. Find us on Twitter at DrunkBibleCast, on Instagram at DrunkBibleStudy, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Dedeker Winston, Jace Lindgren, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad.